Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. 'Tis the season. A little bit of fest beer up in this piece in the form of Lawson's Finest Liquids fest beer. This is a lager. Straight from the Green Mountains to your head. 5.3%. It says, this festive offering is inspired by the lager served at Munich's Oktoberfest. Toasty, biscuity notes of German malts and complemented by the earthy floral notes of noble hops, making this a Prost-worthy pint with a finish as crisp as Vermont air. Yeah. Actually, I'm in fest mode, just because it is that time of year. I popped into this little bottle shop. It was weird. I don't know if I told the story. I might have said it already, but I've been going to this bottle shop for a long time. And one day I went in there and just randomly, I had a brewery shirt on, and one of the workers, very much like manager vibes, is like, "Hey man, we have beer over here too." And it was kind of like a little section of really good stuff. And I was like, "Oh man, thanks for pointing out." He's like, "Yeah, you can come back here anytime." And then I went back in that section, and there was a bunch of stuff that must have just came in. It's not even in the system, and this is there. I was like, perfect, I'll grab it. It didn't ring up in the system. And then just just take it and just get us next time. I thought that was pretty cool. You don't see that a lot of times in today's kind of beer world, so that was pretty cool of them. Fast beer, like I said, dimpled mug. I actually have a dimpled mug right here that is clean. I could be doing proper glassware in this, but I screwed the pooch. Beer-wise, it looks all the part of what you'd expect from a fest beer, but very traditional because it's hyper clean, hyper clear. In the grand scheme of things, if you're going to talk to a beer nerd, and by beer nerd, I don't mean someone like me, I mean a brewer nerd, they would call that hazy. That's not hazy, but it actually has a subtle haze to it. Very, very gentle. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a very clear beer. Not typically what you get from craft level. It's usually a little bit hazier than this, but it looks very much kind of like OG status, kind of like Oktoberfesty, copper in color, sleeping lightly penny. Not much of a head on it. Give it a whirl, but it'll come back with spades. Not much of a head because this guy talks too much. And the white is white it could be, so it'd be kind of an edged kind of head to it. So let's just give it a whirl. See what the nose has. Oh yeah. Yeah, very malt heavy. Roasty, toasty, biscuit malts like they talk about here. A bit of sweetness that is almost like a little caramel, some molasses, a little bit more kind of. I don't think the beer is going to be sweet, but it has this little kind of little molasses caramel thing to it that I don't usually get on Oktoberfest beers. They tend to be a little bit more muted. So this is coming off maybe erring towards a little bit more kind of bocky level, but again, not hyper aggressive. And there's this soft kind of spritz of those kind of noble hops kind of coming through. We're done and done. Hyper clean, hyper clear. It is lager through and through, but feels like we're really going to lean heavily into kind of malt base on this one. Let's dive in. Cheers, all. Yeah, but those hops are nothing to mess with. And typically on fest beers, talk about herbaceousness, talk about herbalness, talk about maybe even just a slightly kind of generic sturdy bitterness. The floral hoppiness that I talk about here, very, very floral, very, very flowery. But it complements that really nice kind of, I want to say for its style, aggressive malt base. Again, it's not a heavily malty beer, but it's malt forward. And it has that little zip of that little sweetness that comes off a la caramel, a la kind of molassesy. And then once you combine those hops, which have a decent bittering, then pop off that kind of floral bit to it, it's a pretty showy and pretty aggressive kind of fest beer. I don't see myself ripping through a 4-pack of these pretty, I was going to say easily. It's the opposite of that. I think it's going to be hard. It's not like a overtly flavorful beer that lends itself to being hard, roughly drinkable. Words are hard sometimes. Not easy to drink. That's what I'm trying to say. But this one really, it is one of those cool tricks that plays off that kind of larger than what you'd expect from a fest beer, but still has that drinkability of a lager. It is a lager through and through. It has this cleanliness to it. It just happens on either end of the spectrum. It has that cool, bittering yet floral hop. On the other side, it has that nice, toasty, roasty, crackery maltiness with that little bit of kind of caramel kind of swing to it. 'tis fest beer season, and this dude is here for it because this is delicious, and I want all of it. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I picked this up. And honestly, will at Lawson's, you never know, because their price point's going to be a little bit weird. I just picked it up kind of ad hoc, I guess you would say. Just kind of go back there and be like, yeah, it's just $45 a 4-pack. It's not going to be that, but I can't really talk about the price point thing, which is what I'm kind of alluding to because I don't know what the price is. So let's talk about it. Because I think we covered all our bases: lager, cleanliness, crisp, clean, super drinkable, volume on both the malt and hop side of things without getting too outside of the style. One of the better fest beers I've had is lately, yes. Mount Rushmore status. I think we're going yes on this. It's worthy because it has a combination of relatively low ABV, almost 5%, and just the drinkability with those little bit of zips on either end of things. Worthy. Value and availability off a shelf. I'm hoping this is coming in at $14. That's my guess. I want this to be $14. It's a 5% fest beer. I think it should be around $14. I think it should be lower than that, but in today's world, $14. Leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like fest beers, but you just want a little bit of volume on it, not necessarily in an Americanized way either. It's not like they're throwing, Citra and Mosaic in here and messing with some weird maltiness. I think there's a lot of traditional things going on here, but I think there's just a little extra on both the ends of things. And if you dig that and still want the beer to retain itself as being drinkable, that be for you. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you enjoyed. Lawson's have been in the brewery. I have. Have you had their beers? I had. Have you had this beer? Well, I have. Have you this year? Talk about it down there. Let's do that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little fest beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.